And that is a very, very destabilizing approach to life. And what it leads to is big attachments, because we form these ideas of, well, I need this thing. If I don't get it, I'm still less than human. I'm unsafe. And that's where attachment forms into life. And so our head is very, very, when we're in our head and when we're in hypervigilance, which most people are in, even if they don't have toxic shame because of the busyness of modern life and how our nervous system gets confused and overwhelmed. And most people are in fear consciousness most of the time because there isn't enough space to connect to the heart and for people to have awareness and presence and regulation. If you're not getting enough sleep, boom, your capacity to be regulated is already really impacted. If you then get up in the morning and because you're feeling tired because your alarm went off and didn't give you enough sleep, that you have a coffee, well, you're even more dysregulated now and you're going to crash harder later. You're probably going to be making unhealthy decisions, eating processed food, sugary foods, scrolling, watching Netflix. All these things are really harmful for the nervous system. So then we're more dysregulated and we're more in our head, we're more in fear consciousness. And when we're in fear consciousness, because we're feeling dysregulated, in other words, dysregulation means that our sympathetic nervous system is on. Our sympathetic nervous system means that we're in fight or flight. Why would we fight or flight? Because it's a threat. So when we're dysregulated, it's essentially, I'm scared. I'm scared. It's not a conscious necessarily, I'm holding a butcher's knife in my corner because I think, and I'm rocking back and forth, terrified for my life because I think a burglar is coming in. It's just walking around, not feeling fully safe, not feeling fully present, not feeling fully aware and grounded and connected, centered, authentic, patient, curious, open-hearted. This is what it's like to be in the heart, connected. And if someone's in that state, because there's that dysregulation, there's that fear, that leads to attachment. So in any area of your life, any fear leads to an attachment. So let's say you're starting your business and you're afraid that you're going to get rejected by doing some posts saying, I'm launching this new business. And you're afraid that your friends are going to think you're stupid and, oh my gosh, they're going to judge you, or your parents are going to see it and they're going to be all worried about you and then they're going to give you some big lecture and you're scared of that. That means you're attached to people liking you. Now, if you're in your heart at that point and you knew that you were whole, perfect, and complete, you knew that if you launch the business and it goes well or it doesn't go well, it's okay. You're going to be fine. And you knew that you're in your heart. Then when you're launching that business and you put it out on social media, there's not as much attachment. There's a lot more regulation. Now, one thing that I didn't mention before is that, yes, when we're in our head, our amygdala is turned on, the fear center of our brain. But when we're in our heart, the prefrontal cortex turns on. The prefrontal cortex is the place of critical thinking, strategic thinking, imagination, intuition. It's the part that allows us to really switch on our intelligence and be performing and allowing our mind to be operating at the highest level. That completely shuts down when we become dysregulated. The prefrontal cortex gets completely shut down and the amygdala turns on. And that's where the energy of the brain goes towards, which means that, yeah, we're not able to be present, conscious, aware, grounded, etc. And so when we are in our heart, then we don't have the attachment as much because we know that we're okay either way. We're whole, perfect, and complete. And so that is a very, very important concept to understand, that in life, the only reason we form really intense attachments is when we have really intense fear. And most people have something, especially in this space, most people have some area of their life that they've got a really big attachment towards creating. So it might be, I need to break through in my business. I need to break through. And maybe that person's been spending 3 or 4 years doing everything, spending all their money. They're now in debt. They're trying to break through. They're desperate. Oh my gosh, if I fail this, everything's screwed. And that's their big attachment. And people have attachments in every micro area of their life, in every situation. If they're dysregulated, there's fear. If there's fear, their head's trying to control a certain reality and they're attaching to that reality. So you're going into a conversation and you're feeling dysregulated, you're attached to being liked. So then the head uses a control strategy of pleasing. Okay, cool, I've got to be liked. I'm attached to everyone liking me, so I'm pleasing. There's not a regulation there. There's not an authenticity there. There's not presence there. And so that person is attached to being liked in that situation. But out of the situational realm, as a macro theme, most people have a really big main attachment, or a couple or three really big main attachments. So like I said, if someone's could be breaking through in their business, that's their big attachment. And until that happens, they're screwed because that person's scared. If someone's attached, they're scared. They're scared. They're like, oh my gosh, right now, I've got all these people watching how I'm doing. And if I don't break through, I'm going to look like an idiot. My parents aren't going to love me. My friends aren't going to love me. I'm never going to find a partner because I can't even make my own business work. And there's all these meanings and fears that are attached to it. Hence why there's a big attachment. That could be one. Another one could be, I just need to find a man. I need to find a man. I'm so embarrassed. I'm single. All my friends are having kids and have been getting married and I'm single. I'm attached. And another one could be someone's overweight. I'm just attached to getting my body. I've got to lose the weight. Got to find the next diet. Got to get clothes that look better on me, more expensive. You've got to pay for lap band surgery and got to figure this out. And there's this hyper-vigilant, desperate, obsessive attachment of, I need to get this sorted. Someone else might be, I need to save more money. I'm terrified of not having enough money, having enough money. And all of these big macro attachments are rooted in fear, like I said. And if someone's in fear because they've got this big macro attachment, then the cascading effect from that big theme, even if in a moment they're not fully thinking about it, it has an impact on the way that our nervous system allows us to feel. Another one might be getting better grades, need to get the good grades for someone that's at school or in uni. Need to get the grades. Oh my gosh, if I don't get it and if I don't fail, I'm screwed. Everything's going to be stuffed up. I need to find a job. And there's all these big macro attachment that someone could have. And there is an enormous opportunity within this